So I've kind of may have gotten into hockey recently. After the Winter Olympics, I can't really say why. Could be based on a Canadian hockey TV show that's very popular, and possibly have read all the books to said hockey show. But we may touch on that in another video. If that's something that you guys want, let me know. Well, we can talk about it. Because I've read all the books. But anyways, back to hockey. Okay. The playoffs are amongst us. Okay. It started like what, two weekends ago. This past weekend that I'm filming this would be the second weekend of playoff hockey. So it's been about a couple weekends. And since I just randomly fell into this sport, I wanted to sit down and give my little thoughts and a mini review on hockey as a whole. Now, obviously, after the playoffs are over, I'll probably give my thoughts and opinions and experience on the playoff hockey and how different it is than the regular season hockey. But just keep in mind, I've only watched half a season of hockey. Okay, so my takes are horrible and trash. My bracket is already fucked. So that's all I have to say because I had the Pits coming out of the Eastern. I'm so fucking devastated. The Pits lost in overtime, 1 goal. And then you talk about so-and-so may not be back. What are we talking about? I just got here. I just got into fucking hockey and people that I like are leaving. What do you mean? It's gonna be hard watching what case. I don't want to hear about their loss. I don't want to hear about it. I'm not watching the Utah and the Vegas game. I honestly just don't care enough to watch. I'm devastated. I'm so upset that Pitts didn't make it out. I'm so upset. Y'all, I may post in the morning, but I have gotten so emotionally invested in the Penguins run. Like, you don't even understand how devastated I am. And to find out that my backup team is also down is not good for me. It's not good for mental health. I don't care about any other thing. I don't care about the other teams in the East. I don't care about the Hurricane. Oh my God. The only other team that I'm emotionally invested in is the Bruins. Because of Swayman. Please. I'm so upset. You don't even understand. I want to call off work tomorrow. I want to just spend the day like relaxing. Like, I cannot deal with this right now. I literally cannot deal with this right now. I really can't. This is not making me happy. Still not over the Pits being out of the playoffs. So I bought a Sidney Crosby jersey because I felt like I needed retail therapy for that. Who thought? Y'all, I'm gonna post my bracket and I'm gonna have us all collectively laugh. At the way that my bracket looks right now, because who thought in their fucking world that I should be giving my opinion on who's coming out of this? And I've watched half the season. I don't even know half these players' names, but I digress. Let's go ahead and start off first with my mindset before I started watching hockey. And we're gonna get a little deep here. So if you don't like anything about race relations, please exit left because it's about to get, or you know what, I'll have it timestamped. You can skip this section if it's too much for you to handle as an adult. But I'm gonna put it out there, as an African-American woman, I don't know many people who watch hockey, like at all. I'm gonna let you know, in my household and in my group of people that I know, I am the only one that watches hockey. Matter of fact, they only watch hockey because I watch hockey. Hockey is not a big sport in the African-American community. Like, when we think about sports, we think of like basketball, football, track and field, maybe baseball. Hockey? Not even in the top 5, okay? And I just named what? I named 4, and then they're still not in the top 5. And honestly, I don't think it's that random. So I did some research on hockey because I was trying to figure out, how come this sport that I have now fell into and fell in love with, why is it not more popular? And everything starts with, there was a racial barrier. Always does. Black players were not officially banned from the NHL. There was no rule saying that if you were Black, you could not play for the NHL. But there was definitely a color barrier. Do you know when the first Black person actually played in the NHL? I'll wait. Don't Google it. 1958. Okay? 1958. Now, we're going to roll back a little bit, 8 years. He's not the first one to sign a contract. That was in 1950, but they never played in the NHL. It's going to get worse. Let me know what you think the year the second Black person ever played in the NHL. 1974. 13. You're telling me in those 13 years, there was not one Black person, Black player that played hockey, and that was signed to the NHL. Now let's compare it to some other sports. I just go to some comparisons. What was happening in 1974 when the NHL finally got their second Black player? The NBA, 75% Black. The NFL, about 30% Black. Baseball, 17% Black. The NHL just got their second Black player in 1974. What? And let's talk about just in 2026 alone. The NBA is 78% Black. The NFL is 54% Black. Now, we ain't gonna talk about baseball. Baseball kind of dropped a little bit, but honestly, baseball is more of a white Hispanic sport. I don't know what to tell you. That's about 6%. We just gonna move past that. The NHL, as of right now, the NHL is sitting between 3 to 5%, depending, because I know rosters fluctuate. Specifically, obviously during the season, it's a little more rigid, but I think once the trade deadline happened, they can add as many people as they want to their roster as long as they are under the cap space. It's from what I've done my research on. And so who knows what that looks like as far as depth and player wise. Obviously players get hurt, players get injured, concussion, whatever happens. So obviously you're going to want to call up some people from like the AHL or possibly collegiate hockey who may come and play, and their racial diversity, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But we could put it that it's all because of race. We could. And honestly, it makes sense. But it's not all on race. Let's talk about something that's super, super important.
Too damn high party.
It's fucking expensive to learn how to play hockey. When I was researching this video idea, I was like, how expensive is it? Because let's just be honest, things like the NFL and the basketball, one of the things that they do well, and track and field, is that the cost to play these sports are pretty low. I mean, every high school has a basketball team. Most of the big high schools in an area will have a football team. The barrier to entry is just cheaper. It just is, and I'm not saying that the equipment isn't expensive. Trust. It can get expensive with the equipment as well. But as far as like learning how to play the sport, like picking up a ball and throwing it is not that expensive. Hockey, on the other hand, it's expensive. And it's the same thing when it comes to learning baseball as well. And baseball more not because the equipment is expensive, it's because getting into a good league where you're going to learn to play baseball is going to be more expensive. Especially if you're not in an area where baseball is big. The traveling is going to be expensive. Just the fees that go along with getting into a good program, it's going to be truly expensive. Baseball equipment wise, anyone can pick up a ball and a bat and swing it and do all that stuff. But to actually learn to play baseball and then to join a great team to learn to play baseball, how to hit, how to throw, if you're going to be a pitcher, catching, all that type of stuff, it's important. But let's go ahead and switch back to hockey. You're going to need some money, babes. Let's just talk about the gear. Skates are going to run you $100 to $500. Some good pair of skates. And I did not search this up, but I don't know how often people go through skates. Let's do a Google. Let's do a Google right now. Let's go to Google. How many skates does a hockey player go through in a season? So to play professionally, it could be okay. So you could in theory have a single pair of skates if you're playing like beer league, or it's not bad. But if you're playing professional, I mean, you're in a type of team or anything like that, it could go up to about 12 skates per year. 12 at the lowest, $1,200 a year for skates. Sticks. Now sticks, you can get them a little bit more cheaper if you don't give a fuck about your sticks. But yeah, it's gonna run you $40 to $400, and those things break. I swear to God, when I'm watching a hockey team play, at least 3 players break a stick a game. A game. And mind you, the NHL, they play 82 games a season? If 2 or 3 players are breaking a stick every game, I wonder how many sticks they're breaking in practice when they're training. It can get pretty expensive. Gloves are gonna run you between $60 to $100, $60 to $130. Protective gear is gonna get really expensive, and God forbid your child decides to utter the words, "I want to be a goalie." I pray for you. My thoughts are with you in this moment. Okay? And that is before you even learn how to play the sport. Okay? So I looked at places specifically in Cleveland, Ohio. If you don't know, I live in Cleveland, Ohio. It is a more northern state. We get winter here, so it gets cold. Lake Erie does not freeze though. Okay? It may ice over, but you're not skating on them. Please do not skate on Lake Erie. It's Do you want to fall in? Exactly. Okay. So first of all, I want to start off with that. Most high schools in Cleveland do not have a hockey team. I'm just gonna put it out there. My high school didn't. I'm thinking of something. Now I went to, obviously my high school didn't. I went to a very small private Christian school. I'm even thinking about some of the bigger high schools in my area. I don't know if they do have a hockey team, and if they do, I don't know anything about them. Yeah. So most likely, if you're living in the Cleveland, Ohio area, you probably are going to join a hockey league. To learn how to play hockey as a toddler, because obviously you can do that. That's going to run you about $70 to $90 per year, which honestly speaking, if you have one child, that's not crazy expensive. But honestly, in this economy, spending $80 just for your child, toddler, to learn how to play hockey is expensive, considering a basketball doesn't cost that much. Considering you can go to a rec league or a rec room or a recreational place and just pick up a ball and shoot it at their hoop. It may be free. It quite frankly could be free to play basketball as a young person. Now, most leagues are going to allow you to either bring your own gear or you can rent your gear. I saw that the going price was about $125 for gear for a toddler. So just in a year, a season, whatever, to learn hockey or whatever you want to do for a toddler, okay, it's gonna run you a couple $100. That's if you're not buying the gear. If you're buying the gear, expect to spend a couple $100 more, especially on skates, especially on the padding, just throwing out there, right? And then you want to go to the older kids to learn how to play hockey. We're talking, this is going to be your grade school kids. We're talking to $150 to $180 for a season. And obviously you have the gear deposit or gear. If you're buying gear, expect to spend close to $1,000 because gears can get really expensive, especially if you just think about skates, padding, athleisure wear, whatever, athletic wear that you're going to wear up under your things. It's gonna get expensive, especially if you are purchasing them yourself. Now let's talk about these leagues. Let's talk about these leagues. Okay, tournaments are gonna run you $125 each. So that means if you are in a good league and you want your player to get exposure, to get this is in the Cleveland area. I'm not talking about in Minnesota. Don't ask me what's going on in Minnesota. I don't fucking know. But this is in the Cleveland area of Ohio. If you want your child to get experience playing hockey, to play against other people, to play in a good league, you are going to be spending $125 per a tournament that they enter. Okay? And mind you, the site that I looked up for this information, one of the leagues just won like a championship. So yeah, league fees, $500, $800, $1,000. It really depends on age. It depends on the age range. I think younger kids are a lot more cheaper and older kids are going to be more expensive, which makes sense, right? And that's just the league fees and tournament fees. You also are going to have membership fees. There's different type of memberships, and it's like an NHL membership or some type of membership. I didn't write it down on my notes, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, you could easily be spending thousands of dollars per year per child. Okay, Hughes family, what the fuck? I mean, I get it. Y'all both come from like hockey families, so y'all had the money to spend, but goddamn, I know they was running their pockets because all three of them boys is in the NHL. I hope they pay their parents back. I hope they pay their parents back. The Kachuk brothers, oh baby, they got two people. Ugh, but Hughes got three. Oh, and honestly, when you just compare it to other sports that are going to have that lower barrier of entry when it comes to equipment costs, tournament fees, and sometimes just access to leagues. Like most high school, grade schools, college schools have a basketball team. Most have a football team. Track and field is very popular in most collegiate sports. Baseball is pretty prominent as well. These ones are just more accessible, just in and of itself than hockey is to the average person. Like, you have to be into hockey to want to play hockey. Like, it's not a sport where you go into it and you just want to test it out. We ain't got money for you testing stuff out. You go pick that basketball up and call it a day. Now let's go ahead and move on to culturally. Hockey is just not seen as cool in the Black community. In the Black community, mind you, I'm taking this from the Black community experience, okay? It's not cool. And I can't tell you right now off the top of my head any prominent Black hockey players that were labeled as cool. Not saying that there weren't important Black hockey players, not saying that they weren't Black hockey players that have exceeded. I'm pretty sure if I could search it up right now, you'll find them everywhere. I can't think of, and I just did a Google search. I can't think of any names. So like, I could name some Black athletes from other sports like basketball. LeBron James, obviously, I'm from Cleveland. You know, Kobe, Klay Thompson. Let's talk about football. You have Jerry Rice. You have Jordan Love. You have so many players. Like, you could just name a bunch of players. I'm pretty sure if I go in the middle of my town square and list off these sports: basketball, football, track, soccer, and basketball, and hockey, and try to have someone name one athlete from each, from a African American, they're going to struggle probably with hockey. They just are. It's just not seen as cool. We don't know any star athletes who are Black. And I'm not saying that they aren't, because I'm horrible with names and I'm horrible with faces. So for me, I've probably already watched multiple different Black hockey players play in the NHL this season, and I can't remember names. That's a me. That's not a community issue. That is a me issue. I am horrible at remembering names and remembering people's faces. Like, well, no, I will say I remember someone's face. I won't remember their name. Like, it's gonna take me a lot to remember someone's name. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm gonna have to hear it over and over and over again. And honestly, I genuinely don't know what the NHL is doing to bring in more Black or minority audience. Honestly, if anything at all. Okay, if anything at all, because I don't think the current environment of the NHL lends itself to have that conversation. I just don't. And honestly, as someone who is African American and someone who is Black, who lives in America, I have to have that conversation with myself, because I don't see a lot of people who look like me playing in the NHL. I just don't. I can go over to like the women's hockey and see some stuff. Even the women's hockey, I mean, you know, you got Layla Edwards and stuff, but quite frankly, not seeing that, not seeing it. And if I do apologize. I don't remember people's names. That's on me. And I only pay attention. I'm always watching like 2 games at once. So sorry to these people. But yeah, I don't, and honestly, like I said, I don't even think the NHL cares to do that. I know they want to grow their sport, and quite frankly, Black culture is popular culture. And if they're able to slide into and capitalize off of Black culture and make Black people care, it's gonna end up becoming popular. That happens with fashion, that happens with music, that happens with any sport. You can probably look at it and think about it, and those sports become popular. When Tiger Woods was at his top of his game, it became very popular among people. Everyone loved it. When Serena Williams was at the top of her game, and now you have a couple other Black tennis players that have been popping off lately, but they become very popular. They become pop culture. They transcend the sport. LeBron has transcended basketball. Kobe, rest his soul, transcends basketball. Black culture is popular culture. The way we dress, the way we talk, the way everything. And if hockey could capitalize off of that by pushing a Black hockey star, obviously they have to be good. They have to be good. They got to be good at their sport. So if they could somehow figure that out, I'm pretty sure they could probably gain a good demographic, because Black people go hard for their sports. They go hard for their sports and their sports teams. They do. They really do. But like I said, I don't think the current NHL climate, and that's just me watching it for half a season, I just don't think the climate in the NHL as a whole wants or even cares to have that conversation. I think they're okay with the status quo and growing their sport the way that they want to grow it, and that's fine. That's fine. But you know, maybe if you step a little bit outside the box, you could help. I mean, look at Heated Rivalry. Heated Rivalry has become one of the fast-growing, popular shows out there. And it has made basically everyone in that show stars. And the NHL's done fuck all as far as trying to capitalize off of that moment. And quite frankly, I don't know how long that moment is going to last. Okay? You know you got 30 minutes? Because the minute that ends, your popularity ends. And if you don't capitalize off of that, I would have never watched a hockey game in my entire life if it wasn't for Heated Rivalry. There are some people out there who would have never watched a hockey game if it wasn't due to this show and these books. On purpose. Like, I'm not saying, oh, it's on TV, you catch it in like a bar or something, like a sports bar, or you're out and about, or you just happen to be watching the Winter Olympics or something like that. I'm saying actually sit down and watch an NHL hockey game. Okay, I've stayed up. Okay, I have a couple TikToks about that, because who goes into double overtime with the Senators? I mean, don't get me wrong, like, fuck, they were doing a really good job, but fuck me, two times, wrap it up. Sorry, that's a whole other rant for a whole other day. What was my original opinion about the NHL? Very white and very uncool. That was kind of like my thoughts and my opinion on hockey before getting into it. And now after watching hockey for a little bit, it's very white, it's very uncool, but I do like it. I do like watching hockey. I do like watching the players. I do like when it gets to, like, you know, the power plays and the neutral zones, and I'm learning so much just watching it. I'm the type of person that's like, I gotta watch it to kind of figure out like how to play the sport, kind of girly. Like, don't tell me, I'm not gonna know what's a power play. Don't even know. But if I watch it, I'll be able to catch on. You know what I'm saying? So I really do like it. It's fast, it's aggressive, it's chaotic. I love it, and I cannot wait till we get to the Stanley Cup Finals. Like I said, bracket's kind of fucked. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of fucked. Probably shouldn't cuss it this much on YouTube, but hopefully next year I can watch a full, season. I heard they're going to 84 games, so hopefully next year I can go to my first ever game. The closest team to me is the Columbus Blue Jackets, and even I'm saying close, it's 4 hours away. A 4-hour drive there and a 4-hour drive back. Then we do have the AHL, the Monsters, so maybe I'll try to hit one of those games next year. Probably a lot more easier than trying to go to an NHL game, but I would like to go to an NHL game, hopefully next season. We will see how that works. I'm hoping it can be like a Columbus Blue Jackets game. I gotta see. I gotta look at their schedule. I heard the schedule's out. I won't get the schedule because there's a couple teams that I would like to see play. One of the teams that I would love to see play is like the San Jose Sharks. I would love to see like the Islanders play. I don't know how long Crosby has, so maybe get to a Pitts game. Pitts game actually might be easier to get to than the Blue Jackets. Wait, how far? No, I don't think so. I think it's farther. I think Pittsburgh is. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. But I will say, I kind of really don't care what team I'm watching. I watch all the games. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the same thing next year because I'm exhausted. And watching a game that starts at 10 p.m. is a lot. But that's crazy because the team that I like the most is the Avalanche and the Islanders, obviously outside of my Columbus Blue Jackets. And they're on the West Coast. But either way, I always feel bad for the goalies. Justice for the goalies. You have my love and heart. I love watching the rookies play. Like they really just be like 18-year-olds out there. Like they really just be calling 18-year-olds up from high school and be like, get in this fucking game. Like, where's your parent? I said that one time and then realized that one of their parents is like not alive. And I was like, ooh. Let me relax. Okay, so some of the players that I do like a lot: Brock Nelson, Celebrini, Will Smith, oh my god, I'm gonna fuck his name up. Warvinski. Sorry. Swayman. I like Reeves. I've probably already watched multiple different black hockey players play in the NHL this season, and I could not remind. I can't remember names. That's me. I like Omar. I know that people are gonna come for me, but I think I may actually like the Kachuk brothers. When they play off the field, it's off the field. Off the field is off the field. Off the field is off the field. But like watching them play, I love watching them. Some of the teams that I like, obviously I've already mentioned some of the players, so you probably already know: Islanders, Sharks, Blue Jackets, Avalanche, Penguins, even though they're not making it. I'm happy that they won. They won their last game, but bro, I don't think they're gonna come out of that series with the Flyers. They could. If they play like they played last time back at home, we could go 7 games. I'm not confident, even though that's the team that I have coming out of the Eastern Conference. Let's go ahead and put up my bracket again for one more time so we can all laugh. Okay, not too much. But yeah. Some of my backup teams, I do like Boston Bruins. I already mentioned the Pits. The Stars. I like the Stars. The Wild. I like the Wild. Now, as far as women's hockey goes, I haven't picked a team quite yet. I love them all. Honestly, I have no notes for any of the women's hockey. I love women's hockey. I know that did the last game play for the playoffs? I don't know. But I haven't picked a team yet. I will say my favorite hockey women's player isn't even in the women's hockey league. Her name is Layla Edwards. She is from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. So I like her. So honestly speaking, quite frankly, whatever team she goes to when she finally is done with college is the team that I'm probably gonna pick. Whoops, sorry. So overall, I like hockey. It's officially my second favorite sport behind football. American football, not soccer. Thank you. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring things out. Okay, I'm gonna keep watching the playoffs. Hopefully my Blue Jackets can make it next year, because it was just so sad the way they fell apart at the end of the year. And at one point I thought it was me, because I always had a hard time catching their games, because it costs so fucking much to watch hockey. But that's a rant for another day. for another day. Okay, for another day. But every time I watched them, they lost. And then I stopped watching them and then they were continuing to lose. So then I was like, it's not me. It's the team. But yeah, that's kind of really it. I mean, if you don't care about hockey before, I don't think you're going to care about it afterwards. But now you know why I do. Now you know why I like hockey. I'm going to continue watching it. I'm going to continue to subscribe. I'm going to figure out how I can watch all the games without spending $1,000 a fucking year to watch them. Cause it's fucking crazy. There's just no way. Shout out to my mom who has HBO. Cause if it wasn't for her, this last week of hockey was all on TNT, HBO. Okay, I play for ESPN. I pay for ESPN Plus, and even still, I can't catch all the games. Holy fuck! I will be fucking screwed if one of these games decide that they want to fucking be on Hulu. Fuck, why Hulu? What the fuck? If there was a game on Hulu, I wasn't watching it. Just an FYI. But I guess that's it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you want more of my hockey thoughts, please let me know. I can talk about whatever, anything. If you want my heated rivalry thoughts, list them down below. I'm willing to talk about heated rivalry. But yeah, I will kind of see you guys in the next one. Bye. I just know the next Olympics, there's way too many fucking young Canadian hockey players that are going to fuck us over in the Olympics in the next 4 years. So we're gonna run with the next 4 years. We're gonna go ahead and run with the next 4 years. But I'm worried. I'm scared because Celebrini, Matthew Schaefer, they're all Canadian. They're all Canadian. They're all Canadian, bro. They're all fucking Canadian. They're gonna have fucking. They're going to have a fucking stacked. The Canadian, I mean, unless somebody's hurt, the Canadian Olympics team, hockey team, is gonna have their pick of players. They could probably deny some people. Like, I'm so sorry, we just got too many good players. We're not winning gold, and we may just win silver. I am projecting a silver medal next Winter Olympics because there's no fucking way the talent that's talenting that from Canada this year. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, we're fucked.